Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
Welcome, everybody, to Similori Field. Folks, no better way to cap a Monday than with a ball game, and we got a good one on our hands here tonight. We got the Bulldogs home opener here, folks. The Burrillville Broncos in town, always a tough foe on the diamond. I am the voice, Greg Morano. We have Lisa behind the lens. We have Ben Barber and Dave DeAngelis, owners along with us, and we are 3-2-1 Westerly, bringing it to you, folks. Bulldogs come in with a 1-0 league record. The Broncos come in with a 2-0 league record, 2-1 overall. And like I said, these teams are always tight matches throughout the years, back to when I played ball. But the Bulldogs with a big game one victory. You always want to start your league season with a victory, and they were able to do that. It wasn't easy, but they were able to do it. And I'll bring that to you. I'll bring you details on that one as we move forward. We are getting close to the start of this one here as the Broncos are finishing up their pregame fielding. Bulldogs on a knee down the third base line per usual. Now, folks, this is an exciting season here. We spoke with the coach. We spoke with some seniors prior to the season. They got about 4 ball players who were on the 2022 state champion squad. And that may not seem like a lot, but 4 is a lot to have spread throughout your team that knows the mentality, that knows the grind that it takes to get to the top of the mountain. Folks, it was the first time in 30 years. Obviously, it's not easy. So if you have anyone on your team that's been there and done that, it's a help. And they have 4 of them, 2 of which on the hill, Jack Tenuta and Michael Poole. I actually don't know who is starting today. I never even got a chance to look down the line. I'll bring that to you shortly as head coach, manager Ron Sposato awaits the other coach, and they'll exchange lineups, and then we will get going again. And I'm just trying to do a little technical stuff here. And we are back, folks, as Coach Sposato speaks with the umpire. I have no idea how long I was cut out. But that being said, because you can see the vehicles out in left field. Folks, as the season progresses and as the winds build up, there's about, 10, 15 cars out there. That'll line the outfield, and it did a couple years ago. That was one of the most exciting runs to be a part of. And I only harp back on that because Coach Sposato, like I said, they have the 4 4 returning players. They have 2 fire starters that would be number 1s on any other team in the league. And I'm getting away from a couple other players as the coaches exchange lineups, as I said earlier. So the Broncos knocked off Smithfield 12-7, and they lost to East Providence 1-0 on the 2nd. They haven't played in 5 days off. This is day number 6. The Bulldogs played Burrillville. They're playing Burrillville right now. They played yesterday and won 9-6. Bulldogs break, and they take the field here at home for the first time in the 2024 campaign. It is a long journey, folks, but these guys know how to do it. New faces every season. Not as many new faces this year as there were last year. Seniors, Jack Tenuta is the captain. Drew Bozak is the captain. Nick Trias, first baseman, is the captain. Josh Ferrando, John Gingerella, and Tim Fagan. Juniors, Michael Poole. We all know Michael Poole. He verbally committed to University of Maine. Zach Miner, second baseman, pitcher. Jaden Parker, shortstop, and Chase Collins, pitcher. Sophomore, Grayson Simmons. He's been one of the 4. Tom Fiore, maybe as well, right-handed pitcher. And new to varsity, senior Joe Gabriel at third, and Andrew Jacobson playing on the outfield. Sophomores, you got James Hooper, pitcher and second baseman, and freshman Luke Gwaltney and Jack Zerberini. Starting today's game for the Bulldogs is number 17. Believe it or not on my roster. Let's see if we can cook up a new one. Just trying to get you number 17, folks, who's not really on the roster here at the moment. Not the roster I have. I will get it sorted out. We'll have to work on that between innings. The righty on the hill for the Bulldogs, and I want to say it's Jack Tenuta. But he's number 22, and he's always been number 22. And let's see if he's out there and left. And he is not, because that's a left-hander. So I'm going to go with that's Jack Tenuta on the hill, out of number. But we shall see. As Burrillville watches on, number 2 will lead off for Burrillville, Jordan Furtado. And the Broncos have scored 12 runs this season and given up 8. I don't know who their second win was versus. But this Bulldog dugout and team ready to get their home campaign going, and they'll start to get together and throw the ball in. And we are ready to get rocking here, folks. I am excited. I love watching baseball. I got the best seat in Westerly right now, without question. Bulldogs pride on fundamentals and pitching. Like Coach Sposato grew up being prided on by Coach Reed, and he follows in the footsteps. They couldn't mirror each other anymore, as Coach Sposato coaches the varsity football team as well. There hasn't been a dual coach since Coach Reed, so really excellent predecessor we have here. And won a state championship, obviously, on the diamond in 2022, as did Coach Reed in 1992. But we are playing live in the present right now. Tenuta gets a sign. It is Jack Tenuta on the hill, folks. And pitch number 1, a little away, with a little pepper behind it, as expected. Tenuta, just an imposing figure on the hill. Toes the rubber for the 1-0 pitch. Back of the box stands Furtado. At the ready. And again, outside. Kind of lets it get by, and it's 2-0. So it's looking for a spy here. And the Bulldogs used a lot of pitchers in their win versus North Providence, which is a good thing. You think that's a bad thing. It's not. It spreads it out, so you have arms for a back-to-back game like they have here. The 2-0 from Tenuta. And that one, doesn't get the outside corner looking for it. 3-0 the count. Pitcher definitely on a hold here to lead off the game. You want to get on base anywhere you can. So Tenuta just looking for something down bread and butter here. The kick, delivery, pitch, and that is inside. So 4 pitches and a walk here. And the Broncos' first runner approaches first base. And to the plate comes number 9, Cam Potter, outfielder, infielder. I guess that encompasses just about everywhere. Lefty at bat. Now, I want to get the number behind the plate for the Bulldogs, too, because they did lose an important catcher in the past couple of years. And a quick move, diving back safely. Just covered a Bulldogs softball victory across the complex. At the ready, checks his runner. Kick. Outside. So again, he's playing away from his batters at the moment. He tried to get outside on the leadoff man, and again, good secondary at first base. The look, throw. And keeping the pitcher's attention, and really, even if you're not going to steal, that's your goal as a runner, just to make if the pitcher's thinking about you at all, you're doing your job. You really are, because he's got to be laser focused on the man in the box. And at the ready here, the 2-0. And again, away. That was a 1-0 correction, folks. I apologize. It is 2-0 now. And a deep breath out of Tenuta. It's better to work out of a problem in the top of the first than run into a problem in the bottom of the fourth. And this one's got a spot and the 2-seamer with a little tail at the end, and that's what he wants. That broke that tailed away from the batter. 2-1, the first strike of the day for Tenuta. Took 7 pitches, but that's all it may take to find your spot. Checks the runner. This is a stealing count. And the kick, nope. Right down the middle, ground ball. Third baseman's going to got in a hurry. Got to go to first with it, and he does. And that's going to be the out. But fielder's choice for the batter. First out of the inning. Runner advances on the 5-3 ground out by the Broncos. And that puts 1 down with a runner in scoring position for the Broncos. And in the box, number 4 for the Broncos, Jack DiCiero, an outfielder, junior. Middle infielders keeping the runner. At the set. Kick. Delivery right there. Strike. First time he's been ahead of a man now. So he might just take that 1 strike. He's thrown 3 in a row now. The initial, the ground out, and he is ahead of the batter here, 0-1. Jack Tenuta is a seasoned veteran. He's a seasoned leader. I mean, he was a leader in his sophomore year. He really was. It was just the way he carries himself and his abilities on the field. I mean, he was putting him in the softball parking lot. Timeout by the batter. Tenuta taking too much time. He was putting him in the parking lot. One of the biggest kids around and throwing fire. So fast forward 2 years and here we are. Expectations are obvious now. The kick. And that one's a huge breaking ball as the batter ducks away and pulls the cord on a 12-6. 0-2 the count. That was a beauty. That was fun to watch right there. Let's see if there's more of that. And sort of keeping them honest. The 0-2 right down the inside portion of the plate and up foul down the line. A good pitch. It's that tail. Got him on the handle. That 2-seamer. Also has a 4-seam, I'm imagining. A little less movement, a little more pop. But he throws a hard two-seamer. There's that nice tail. And if you can control that tail, which he can, extremely effective. 0-2, the count remains. 1 out, runner on second, top half of inning number 1 here of the season for the 1-0 Bulldogs. Back to short, and that one stays away. 1-2 the count. Good waist pitch. Defense playing essentially straight up. Back inside portion of the plate stands the batter, getting his sign, still taking a little while, which as a pitcher you want to keep the batter off pace, take as long as you want. And the pitch, breaking ball in, a nice line drive. That's a single in the gap, and that could be two. Nobody's going to get around it, but that will plate the first run, and it's going to be an earned run, and that's a nice job of two-strike hitting. It was a nice breaking ball, just hung a little too long, and first RBI of the game goes to DiChiero and the Broncos. So now we have a runner on first. The Bulldogs trailing by 1 out. Number 14, lefty at the plate. AJ Escalera, he is the Broncos catcher. So not a bad pitch, 1-2. Just you can afford to get a little less of the plate. But I gotta say that's actually a really nice piece of hitting. And the delivery stays away. Ball 1. So not ideal, not exactly the way the Bulldogs wanted to start. But they can end the bleeding right here. And quick move, sidearm. And the sun's out now, that post-eclipse baseball game. I do think one of my friends called me to wake me up for it, but the kick right down the middle, and that is sliced away down the left field line. We will be here a lot with this Bulldog baseball team. They are home. We will be here. And ready pitch. Right there, check swing, a strike anyway. And that's going to be 2 strikes on the batter. 1-2 the count, 1 out. Runner on first, top first, 1-0 score. And we're all caught up. In is AJ Escalera, the catcher for the Broncos. Batter calls timeout. This is the 4th hitter for the Broncos, cleanup hitter. And that one stays too far away, and he's back even up at 2-2. So if you go around Westerly Sports in week 1, things are pretty good, extremely good. Checks the runner at first. Wins. Just breezy. And that's a little bit low. All the way back comes the hitter. 3-2 the count. So the Broncos making it work. Pitch count 9 and not exactly what you wanted at the top of the first. Especially having just thrown. Yesterday, Tenuta pitched 2 innings. So he's probably not expected to go far today. Back-to-back is very difficult. And the stolen base is not necessary as the pitch stays away, and that'll be the second walk of the inning, which is not like Tenuta. And that's why Coach Pizzato's not going out there or panicking or everything. However, sometimes you have no control over how your body's going to feel on a 1-1 coming right back the next day. That's a tough thing to do. Your muscles and tendons and everything else tighten back up. They got to re-loosen up without rest. I don't know how many pitches he threw in those 2 innings. Tom Fiore started through 4 2/3, allowing 3 runs on 2 hits with 9 strikeouts. Tenuta pitched 2 innings, and then James Hooper came in with 1 final strikeout to close things out. And here we are today, the next day. And we have Tenuta back on the hill, having given up one, 2 runners on, 1 out. And that is bounced towards first, and Tenuta takes care of it himself. That will advance the runners, but out number 2 on the books. So 2 runners in scoring position. Number 10 steps to the plate, Riley Hebert, junior right-handed pitcher and outfielder for the Broncos. Big scenario we got here, folks. The righty gets set to step in. It's 1-0 now. Bulldogs would certainly love to wrap things up here in the top of the first right here. Conversely, the Broncos can chip a single and triple the lead. From the stretch, Tenuta. The kick, delivery, pitch, and that is low and away, ball 1. Small lead at third. They're ready. And Tenuta's 0-1, and it's inside. Excuse me, it's 1-0, and it's 2-0 now. So struggling a little bit with command here in the first inning. And that one's on the outside portion for a strike, sliced away. And he's got that funny set from the stretch where that front foot moves several times, but he comes to a final pause, and that's what matters. I know that a couple of years ago even they were dealing with that, and he doesn't, by the books, balk. See, there's no pause, and then there'll be one right there. That's his set right there, folks. It's unique. It has to play with a little pepper on it. Strike 2. And that surprised the batter a little bit. He didn't even finish the swing there. And Tenuta, if he can use those legs, when he uses those legs, because he definitely can, he can definitely throw some heat. 2-2, 2 outs. Big one right here. And that's got the plate. Shortstop Chopper. He's got it. Throw on the spot. Inning over. Only 1 run. Ends the damage, and the Bulldogs finish it with a 6-3. And they will get their first turn to bat in just a few. We're halfway through the first inning. 1 run on the board by the Broncos, and the Bulldogs getting set to bat. We'll be back.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
And we are back as the Broncos in opposite colors of the Bulldogs. They are in the blue jerseys here today. Chipped one in the top of the first inning. And like I said, the Broncos always bring a good team to the diamond all the way back to when I played it. They really do. And you got to be ready to play them, and the Bulldogs certainly appear ready. Back-to-back games is always difficult, and it wasn't on the schedule, so I don't know how it maneuvered its way into, they maneuvered their way into a back-to-back. Yeah, no, actually it was on the original schedule, so Bulldogs having scored 9 runs this season, having given up 6. Burrillville has scored 12, given up 8, and that's in 2 contests. 1-0 versus East Providence is an impressive game, and they were on the short end of that one. And we have a right-handed, looks like he's a fastball thrower. Number 7, I do believe, would be Cam Laramie, right-handed pitcher, infielder, junior for the Broncos. We're back in action this week, folks, Wednesday and Friday, and the spring really gets started Following week there, games every day. And the Broncos throw down. Nice throw by the catcher. Keep that in mind. I always love watching the opponents warm up. Can tell you a lot about what you're dealing with. And here we go. The Bulldogs. Tough to deal with in and of themselves here as an offense. Leading off for the Bulldogs is going to be their third baseman. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, he's playing third at the moment. Ronald Grayson Simmons catching. I don't know why I said third. He was a rotating third baseman on the state championship team. And now the catcher. First pitch, swing and a miss. Very familiar with Simmons, like I said. Covering him, this would be year 3. Huge part at the corner there. And now big shoes to fill behind the plate, and what a responsibility. The pitch, and that's a liner in the gap. What a way to start the ball game. And that could go for 2 possibly, and they're going to hold him up. Nice job by that center fielder. He gets to the ball quickly and holds it to a single, but nice job by the Bulldogs. Leadoff batter goes with the pitch, hits to the gap, and the Bulldogs are quickly in business. Number 12 at bat, Andrew Bozek, another part of the state championship squad, center fielder, and must be their a reserve catcher, senior. And briefly back to Simmons. That is such a team maneuver, switching positions your senior year to something new, to challenging yourself. A nice off-speed pitch by the Broncos. 0-1, that's a tough puppy to hit right there. He cut a few off of that one. 0-1 the count. But for Simmons to do that, really, that puts the ego aside and puts the team up in front because he puts a whole new learning curve on you with 1 year to go. And pitch, swing and a miss over the outside porch. Nice pitch, throwback down and in. He is safe back at first. Nice arm by that catcher. That's the second time we've seen him throw, and he's been on the spot to second and to first. Back in the count, 0-2 is Bozak. So I guess that's enough about behind the Simmons behind the plate. But it's such an important role here at Similori because there is so much real estate behind the catcher to me. And the backstop is right in front of me. It's an automatic base or more. The 0-2, the 1-2 delivery. Checks him out first. It's a slow check. Stolen bases this season, number 11, Grayson Simmons. And he was the leader, I do believe, on that team in 2022. Or one of the leaders. And foul back, stays alive, up on the hands. And so much goes into stolen bases. It's not just the speed. It's the ability to read the pitcher, read the catcher, know the scenario. And the Bulldogs, I think that season were like 32 of their first 32, without a joke, safely stolen. And I think they ended up the season being thrown out like one time, too, maybe. But that goes to baseball IQ. That goes to coaching. Clearly, head coach Posado over there. 2-2 pitch, and that is going to be low and working his way back. This is 2-2. Good eye by Bozek, making the pitcher work here. Now nobody out, runner on first, and the umpire wants something to back up in the dugout. Broncos at the set. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, stays alive down the third base line. Clearly fielded by Coach Posado. And we'll see the shadows start to come in a couple innings, few innings. Not really an under the lights game, but the 2-2 pitch, and that is line drive towards the shortstop, slides and backhand, and he can't get it to second, throws it away. Simmons is on the move to third, he'll get it to third, and Bozek will be at first. Runners at the corners, nobody out on the E6 by the Broncos. And the Bulldogs in business. Hard hit ball, nice sliding backhand by the shortstop of the Broncos. Really didn't even need to attempt to throw it at second. Didn't really have a play. Tried it anyway, and that is where the mishap occurred. And the Bulldogs now with runners on the corners. Up on the plate, number 17 for the Bulldogs, the pitcher, Jack Tenuta, who in Game 1 had a nice day at the plate, 2 for 4. Last season on the hill, Tenuta was a 2.42 ERA. I do believe that was on the season. Checks that third, safely back. 1-0 pitch here. Trying to help himself in the box. Help his own cause, Tenuta. Big guy right up on the plate. And the pitch, and that is check swing foul near his wheelhouse, just ducked down a little bit low at the last moment. You don't want to give him too much of the plate. Count is even at 1-1, nobody out. Bottom of the first. And the runner checked, and the pitch going, and they're gonna throw effortlessly into safety there. Wow, that catcher almost effortlessly puts it on the spot like a pea. Great move, great speed by Bozek, and again the steal starts with the first movement of the pitcher's body, and he needed all of that to get there. You do a lot of different things with runners on first and third. It looked like that catcher was not going to throw it. He is their cleanup hitter as well. And that is framed in for a strike. That'll be strike number 2. A.J. Escalera, the catcher for the Broncos. And, man, that was pretty impressive. I didn't even think he was going to throw through. But even more impressive is Bozek's ability to put 2 runners in scoring position and no force outs on the base path. And that is popped up and tracked in by the center fielder. Is it close enough? Got it coming in, and he is not going to challenge it unwisely. One hopper to the catcher would have never made it. So 1 out on the books. The Bulldogs still with 2 runners in scoring position. And up steps number 9, Nick Tria, the first baseman. On the scene last year, had a great season. And the pitch upstairs, and that'll be a ball. So the Bulldogs definitely making this Burrillville pitcher work. 1 out on the board, no forces. Outside again. But there is that ability by Burrillville to pitch away from Tria if they would rather the option on deck and create a few force outs anywhere on the base paths. That base is open. So Tria probably won't see anything great. You really pitch delicately because you can afford the walk. And that is a good pitch. Too much on the plate. And it is going to fall into the glove of the left fielder. And Simmons wouldn't have been able to tag up to go home, so he was doing the right thing by creeping down the third baseline in case the ball did fall into place, but it didn't, and that is a fly out, 7 unassisted for out number 2. And with 2 runners on and nobody out, now there is 2 out suddenly, and the Broncos looking to get out of it. Tom Fiore at bat for the Bulldogs. The kick and the ground ball fade down the third baseline, and that'll play to both. And they rifle it home, so to second base, he goes with a base-clearing double. Tom Fiore, the sophomore for the Bulldogs, puts away what was a little bit of a worry that the Bulldogs were going to squander those 2 runners, and they certainly did not. And that's what it took in 2022. That's what it takes. It takes contributions throughout the order, and that's what they got right there. No pressure for Fiore, the sophomore, as he ropes it fair down the third baseline. I couldn't get the word fair out of my mouth. I get excited during baseball, folks, so. Number 15 at bat for the Bulldogs, Jaden Parker, the shortstop. Nice play in the top half of the first. So it's a long first inning, a lot of pitches. What I thought was a lot for Tenuta is a lot more here for the Bronco pitcher. Laramie the junior, still with a problem on second. And nice breaking ball over the plate there, swung on and missed. So number 34, Fiore with 2 RBIs. The score 2 for Westerly, 1 for the Broncos. And we got a ball game on our hands here, folks. Nice lead at second, good secondary, and that is fouled back on the inside portion of the plate. And Laramie gets his sign for the Broncos. Barely holding to the plate, and that is going to be away. Count 1-2, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second. 2 runs in, bottom of the first. Home opener for the Bulldogs. I mean, I get so fired up when I look to my left and get the coach's take on the season. Catcher sets up outside. Pitch got a lot of the plate there, more than he wanted. Foul back and stays alive. Well, in the season preview, the coaches take our team has 1 goal in mind, and that's winning a D2 state championship. That's it. Bluntly, black and white, and that is confidence in your team, and your team has confidence in themselves, and it fires me up. The 2-strike offering from Laramie. That's got the play, ground ball right up the middle, and the sliding play by the shortstop, up, throw, and he's not there safely at first, runner has to hold at third, so another hit by the Bulldogs, and that's more pitches required by Laramie here in the bottom of the first inning, and that is not what the doctor ordered. If you are a Bronco coach, you wanted, obviously you want your starter to get away with an inning less than 40, 50 pitches, and I don't know if he's quite that high, but he's pretty close. Probably in the 30s anyway. Running at the corners. 2 runs have plated, 2 outs. And that is the outer portion for a ball at bat number 24 for the Bulldogs, Zach Miner. And if I'm not mistaken, he would be, let me see, player number 3 that was there in 2022. And that is outside, 2-0, quickly ahead. Bulldogs certainly would love to play another here. Answer the quick run from the Broncos in the top of the inning. And that breaks in for a strike. Nice breaking ball there. 2-1 the count. Broncos have a forced second or first. On a calm day here at Similori Field where the winds can gust early in the year. A breaking ball again right over the plate. He lets it go. Strike 2. 2-2 the count. 2 outs, all 2s on the board. 2 runs in for the Bulldogs. If he hits a gap, he can pop 2 more. Let's see what happens here. Stealing second. Swing. Fouls him off. He's going to return. Good pitch to choose. Catcher ultimately getting his signs from the dugout on the Broncos. Two strikes, 2 outs. Runners sitting at the corners. Takes off again, fouled away again. Nice job staying alive as that breaking ball cut away. Count remains 2-2. Bulldogs next in action versus rival Charahoe just 2 days from now, and I do believe we will be here. Charahoe, a non-league game, if I am not mistaken. And that pitch stays away, and you hear a collective sigh from the Broncos dugout as the count runs full. And a ball will load him up, a hit will play one. And runner off again. Inside porch, he got onto that one. Down the left field line. Will it stay fair? It does, and that's going to go off the fence, and that'll score them both. Minor with a stand-up double. Clutch hitting out of the Bulldogs. Hand up, and you can see the confidence right out the gates here out of this Bulldog squad this season. Holy smokes. Delivers one deep down the left field line. One hops the fence. Runners from first and third in. The Bulldogs answer the Broncos 1 with 4. And don't forget, Minor is now in scoring position himself, and the pitcher is still throwing pitches here in the bottom of the first. And the pitch, that is low, and frustration is visible here in the blue, and normally blue would mean Bulldogs, but they are in the white here today. On the right side of the frustration meter, 1-0 count. And that is over the plate, chopped foul, 1-1. So Minor, I mean, he's been contributing since I started watching him play. And I love the hand-up gesture to the dugout and the reaction from the dugout. They're an emotional team. They're a classy team at the same time. There's a fine line that Coach Sposato implemented when he planted the seed years ago when he began. That ball stays away. And with frustration, accuracy can be diminished. Setting up outside. Pitch goes inside, so he is not on the spot in there. The catcher wanted it away. It ended up blowing in. 3-1 the count. Looking again, the base is open at first, and it does just create a force out anywhere. So it's not all that wise to give a great pitch here if you are the pitcher, regardless of the fact you've given up 4. And that is fouled back. Number 33, I should introduce him, needs no introduction. Michael Poole at bat for the Bulldogs, who was noted the freshman phenom that year, closing out 2 playoff series and the state championship as a freshman with ice in his veins. And that is sprayed away down the first baseline. And he has just grown and developed and still has a year to go. So the Bulldogs with a runner on second base. 2 outs, 4 runs in. The score is 4 for the Bulldogs, 1 for the Broncos. Broncos pitcher Laramie just wants to get back to the dugout. And that is away. And that will put another runner on and the 4th out, but again, more pitches. Bulldogs number 4, Josh Ferrando, the senior. I'm going to say utility, as he's listed as an outfielder, second baseman, and third baseman. That is utility to me, and those are the important key components to have. Is those utility players that can step in anytime, anywhere, any situation, and you can have confidence in them. And that's what Coach Filato has. Obviously, he made that clear in his interview for the preview that he has full confidence in this squad. I mean, it'll be interesting today to see how long Tenuta throws. Like I said, it is back-to-back nights, and that is a tough task, and he certainly won't be throwing on the 10th versus Chariho, I can't imagine, which would give Poole the game, and then a day off, and they play Norwich in a non-leaguer, so baseball's nonstop. The pitch, and chopped foul down the third baseline. Ahead of it is Ferrando. 2 runners on for the Bulldogs. Well, it's turned into a nice night here. It's always nice when you drop 4 in the first and you're still battling here. And now the pitcher's certainly up over 50 in the first inning. And he's down to about 3 or 4 innings for the game, more than likely. And that is called strike over the outer portion. Ferrando didn't agree. Looking to get out of the inning with this pitch. Kick, and that is a curveball. Breaks, but not enough. 1-2 the count. Open stance by Ferrando. Doesn't mean he can't slap away. And he gets under it. Popped up to the first baseman. And right near the line, and it's dropped by the catcher, and that's going to play to run because the pitcher didn't cover home. Whenever the catcher leaves home plate as a pitcher, you got to know, you got to replace him. No communication. You see a frustrated first baseman, and it drops in off the glove of AJ Escalera, the catcher, who is the last guy that has the responsibility there. It starts with the first baseman. You coming in, you make the call. You're the captain. It's not the job of the pitcher coming off the mound. Because he's coming off the mound, it's not the job of the catcher because he is facing the wrong direction. So it's either the first baseman calls it or stays away. He gets out of the equation. They didn't do it, and that caused a run. 2 runners now on still. The inning continues. 2 outs, 5 in for the Bulldogs. And we are back around the bend, and number 11, the catcher, captain, returning state champ, Grayson Simmons, with the ball at bat here for the Bulldogs. Simmons, like I said, one of the best runners for the Bulldogs have, and he was as a sophomore. He's got that baseball IQ. He really does. He's a starting third baseman caliber player. Clearly, he's done it at state championship level, and now behind the plate as a senior. Boy, oh boy, kudos to him. And that's going to stay away. So 2 balls here. I mean, there's no doubt. There's a frustrated pitcher on the hill, and what an answer this Bulldogs team has done. I mean, you have changed the scope of things looking down in the bullpen. There's no activity. I mean, when you pencil in a starter, you pencil him in hoping worst case 3, 4, and that's up and away, and boy, did that save a problem. Again, the real estate behind home plate here guarantees a base at least. If you kick sideways, you get 2 sometimes. And if the pitcher doesn't cover home, you always play to run. The pitch, and that one's going to catch the outside corner. So there is 1 strike, 3 balls. Again, that base is open if he's being careful intentionally, but with the pitch count where it is and score where it is, the pitch, and that is going to stay away. Oh, he gets a call there. It's early, so early in the season. I don't like to complain, and the count runs full here. 3-2, 2 outs, another opportunity for the Broncos to go to the dugout because all this damage has been done with 2 outs, folks. They had almost squandered their opportunity. That ball breaks away, and that is going to load them up again for the Bulldogs. Yeah, this thing started, folks. Remember, the Broncos were about to get out of the top of the first inning if you're just joining us. Bulldogs had no runs in, 2 runners on with no outs, and the Broncos got their first 2 outs, and the Bulldogs have plated 5 and now have the bases loaded again with 2 outs, and Andrew Bozek at bat again, the center fielder for the Bulldogs, returning state champion and batting number 2 here in the lineup, the second at bat of the game here in the first inning. And this could break things open a little bit here, folks. Really could early on. Choosing the stretch. And that is a bouncer to third. Is it slow enough to get him safe? Throw across the diamond, and he's going to be in there. Had to dive to stop it. And we have a stop in play. And a foul ball called. Must have hit the plate. A lot of excitement there, folks, but all for naught. And honestly, the Broncos really got away there. But the umpire chased it down. I was wondering where he was going. And that one is over the plate there for strike number 2. And how quick he was from elation to... Regardless, the Bulldogs with a 5-1 lead, 2 strikes, and a Bronco team that wants to head to the dugout here and end this first inning. And that is away for a ball. No room. On deck, however, is someone clearly trying to avoid in Tenuta. And the 2-strike pitch away again. 2-2 the count. Frustration on the shoulders of Laramie, and for good reason. This Bulldog team has pitched a half a game's worth already. And I said this game wouldn't be under the lights. I may be eating my words there. And the pitch, swing and a miss, nice pitch, outside portion. Broncos don't allow any further damage, but the Bulldogs, with 5 2-out runs, lead this thing 1 inning finally in the books. And the Bulldogs 5, the Broncos 1. We are 3-2-1 Westerly. We're going to take a quick break.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you. Welcome back, everybody, as Tenuta gets warmed up on the hill. That's a long break for him as well, folks. Remember, all those runs, his arm was sitting waiting, but clearly he would prefer the break if this is. You see how Burrillville and the Bulldogs made out when they face each other. Music playing. Similority Field is rocking after a first inning like that. And Burrillville, not even on their schedule last year. I do believe they were in the playoff schedule, however. I do believe. And a shell-shocked Burrillville team by what could have really been bad. The floodgates could have opened. And they almost did, and unfortunately, that ball went off either the batter's foot or home plate and was called dead. Getting set to throw down. And now the bullpen active over there, finally, for the Broncos, I can see. I mean, that's a lot of pitching in the first inning for Laramie and the Broncos. Leading off for the Broncos, number 23, Nate Noez, first baseman, junior. And the Bulldogs will open up inning number 2 with a 5-1 lead, folks. And an exciting first inning of play. I thought that Burrillville was doing a pretty good job of getting Tenuta's pitch count up. And boy, did they flip the script on that. As Tenuta got out of it with only 1 earned run, and the Bulldogs offense kicked into gear. Here we go. Noez steps in for the 2-1 Broncos, 2-0 in the league. And that breaking ball, a beauty, strike 1, 0-1 the count. And the league the Bulldogs are in is broken down into pods, which Coach Fazzato provided me with last week. Yeah, swing and a miss with a heat. And that is the first real gas we've seen out of Tenuta, and blows it by 0-2 now. Tenuta, suddenly 5 runs can really give you all just that big, deep breath in and recharge the battery. And Tenuta upstairs, good waist pitch, nice spot for it. 1-2 the count. Getting a sign is Tenuta. Nobody on, nobody out. 0-2 count here, top 2. And that is a breaking ball inside. 2-2 the count. So the Bulldogs are in a pod that includes obviously Westerly, East Providence, Pontiac, and Woonsocket.
So a certain amount of teams from each pod make playoffs. It's a finicky situation. And it's way too early to talk about. And that is upstairs. Works the count back a little bit here. Up to full. The payoff pitch here. Kick the offering, and that was going to stay away. So again, leadoff man walks, and not the star you want. Generally, the old saying, leadoff walk usually scores. That honestly generally proves true. But this Bulldog team, they're really good in the field, folks. They really are. They're a fundamental squad, and that's their foundation is pitching and fielding and timely hitting. And now the Broncos with small lead over at first. Tenuta out of the stretch again. Nobody out. Top two. Kick. Pitch. Strike. Swing and a miss as he blows by him on the inside portion. Up to bat for the Broncos, Ronald Vargas. Pitcher and infielder for Burrillville. Runner on first, takes secondary, not much there. Check swing, upstairs, holds off, 1-1 the count. Trying to cut into the 5-1 deficit, getting the signs from the coach at third. Not a stealable lead. The kick, pitch, breaking ball, inside portion. Didn't get the call. I liked where it ended, but 2-1 the count. Nobody out here. Gets his sign from Simmons. At the ready. Small lead at first. Kick. Pitch, and that is chased up and in, and that's exactly what you want out of it. Fortunate. The batter attacked, and they're tough to lay off as a batter. Looks like a watermelon up there, but I mean, and now the way he can pull the string on his curveball is when you can really fool a hitter if they chase something high. And Tenuta has a 12-6er. And that is low and away. What a stop by Simmons. Like he's been there all his life, boy. Let me tell you, the backhand saved at least one runner in scoring position with nobody out. And that was going further to right than you like, towards the right where the fence starts to jut out in different directions, and then who knows. The 3-2 offering, runner at first. And that's right down the chute. Punches him out. Freezes him with the heat. He goes with the confidence in his fastball, and it proves successful as there's one down now via the strikeout. Number 8 steps in for Burrillville, Daniel Delmonico, an infielder and pitcher, junior for the Broncos. Again, doesn't have to worry too much about the runner at first at the moment. Who's focusing in on getting the outs and throwing the strikes. And look at that. Beautiful curveball comes in on the inside portion. Batter ducked away, and it is a strike. 0-1 count. And I got to say, I'm not outdoors, but it's one of the less windy days and bitter cold days than we've had just off the outside corner. One one count, one down, runner at first, and we have a balk finally called here. And you know that I know that he toes the line, and literally, no pun intended, toe got called for false kick. Bounces that front foot, and he can't go too high with it. He's got to make sure he comes to a set after it. Generally does. And there is the set. Now the runner gets his way to the scoring position freely for the Broncos on the balk call. And I haven't spoken personally to Tenuta, which I will soon, hopefully, on the show on Saturday. So hopefully sooner than later on what his plans are for the future. But definitely a next level caliber pitcher for sure. And that is off the fist to the third base side. Handled by the third baseman. Throw back second, not there. Nice job of sawing it off the hands of the batter by Tenuta. And 2 outs now with the runner at second. In steps Jordan Furtado for the Broncos. Bulldogs would like to end the inning here and keep it at 1. And the half of the inning, that is. Runner at second, not too far off. Focusing on the hitter here. Tenuta will attack. There's no doubt he's not going to dance around. Curveball right there. What a beauty. Strike 1, 0-1 the count. There's a nice team review for, I don't know really what my source was, but it's a New England High School spring team review that the Bulldogs got. And I didn't have a chance to go through it, but I will by Wednesday. And that is on the outer portion. What a beauty. With a little pepper on it as well. 0-2 count, 2 strikes. And now obviously we're watching a pitcher who didn't have great command early, worked his way through it, giving up only 1 run and trying to get out of the second inning here unscathed. You can see the confidence back. Not that it ever left. And that breaking ball fools the batter completely for the strikeout. The fist pump inning, half inning over. No runs given up. Score remains. Bulldogs 5, the Broncos 1. We will be back.
What's going on, Westerly? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners, Verizon authorized retailer. And right now is the best time to come on in and get a brand new phone. We are offering our hottest new 5G phones, the iPhone 15, the S24 Pixel 8 for free with a trade-in. And the best part is 5G is finally coming down here to Westerly and the surrounding areas. So make sure you're on the best network and get it for free when you're on the right plan. Come see us at 224 Post Road.
And welcome back. So a little correction here. Why I didn't see a second win here by Burrillville is because they don't have one. Their record is 1-1, and they're 0-1 in the league. So the loss to East Providence, and the East Providence is in the Bulldogs pod C. The Bulldogs, and it proved true last year, find themselves in probably the most difficult pod. And I'm not just saying that as a representative here of the Bulldogs, but I'm saying it because last year they had 3 teams in out of their 4 that had better records than any of the teams in another pod. And they couldn't put 3 in because of the rules that a certain amount of teams from each pod have to go. So, that being said, they're facing 1-1 Burrillville, 0-1 in the league. The Bulldogs are 1-0, or 1-0 in the league. Last year, Tenuta finished the season 338 with 6 doubles, 2 round trippers, 18 RBIs. Bozak, the contributor here right tonight, was 275, 15 runs, 13 RBIs, a pair of doubles, pair of triples. We've seen Nick Tria at bat. I'm starting to be able to go through my numbers now with a little bit more time and a little bit of separation. A little bit. 4 is never enough in the second inning, but Tenuta steps in here with nobody on and an open field. Parker, another stolen base in the last contest for the Bulldogs. Random stat, I'll just throw out there. And the first pitch for the Broncos, and now I see a new pitcher on the hill, number 10, and that's going to be Riley Hebert. So the Bulldogs knocked out Laramie in the first too many pitches. He just threw too many pitchers, and as a coach, you got to weights and balances. Where do you go? It's Monday. I don't know the Broncos' schedule, but they may have 2 more games this week and may need him to try to start and get a chunk out of one of them. So that means rip him out here right after 1. And that's what the Bulldogs did. And now we see what number 10 Hebert can do with a 1-1 count on Tenuta, one of the better hitters here. And the pitch, swing, and a miss on the inner portion. And that's 2 strikes. So we see a little bit more methodical approach here and a little less velocity. Pitch, breaking ball away, pulls it to third. Fielded cleanly, 2 steps, throw across. High throw, unable to handle it. I think he was there anyway. I'm going to give him a single. If he beats the throw, even though they dropped it, then if he would have been safe anyway, it's a hit in the books. And since I'm going to go, I'm the official scorekeeper, even though I'm not writing it down, that's a hit. Unable to make that transition to first, and we've seen that 3 times. It's popped out of his glove or gotten by, and not his fault. Throws have been all over. Tenuta at first for the Bulldogs. Nobody out. And first pitch is in there. Nick Tria, the first baseman, steps in. 0-1 count. Runner at first, 5-1 lead. Bottom second. Here we are, Similori Field. Baseball home opener for what, folks, is going to be a dynamite season. A little outside, wants to throw to first. Loses a handle on it shortly. But when I was talking about the real estate here at Similori, it really runs all the way around. I mean, from outside the foul pole to outside the foul pole. There's a lot of room, a lot of grass before the fence. And things can get tricky with base runners. Gets his primary off of first. Quick check. And that's going to stay away. Count is 2-1 on Tria. Tria batted .250 with 11 RBIs last season. And it's the experience that these players gained last year where the expectation grows. And that is a roller, a little too far away, 3-1. Throws more with his wrist, certainly, trying to create movement. Set up outside, goes too far outside, they'll take the freebie, and the Bulldogs in business here. Runners on first and second. We got a single by Tenuta, walk by Tria. And in for the Bulldogs, the man of the hour last inning with the big hit, Tom Fiore, to break in the scoring for the Bulldogs with 2 outs. Now no outs, runners on first and second. Fiore also a pitcher, sophomore. He's going to get a lot of work this year. A lot of confidence in him. 4 2/3 for the Bulldogs, only allowing 3 runs in their league victory versus North Providence. 9-6 win. 1-0 count. The pitch, and that's going to stay low, 2-0. So the Bulldogs in charge here. No room. I mean, there is room, but there's no room if you're a Bronco for any more freebies. Like I said, the Bulldogs have those contributors all the way up and down the lineup. And that stays away. 3-0. I don't think swinging really is all that wise in this scenario, regardless of the pitch. Up 5-1 early in the game. If they're going to allow you to get on there, you go 3-1 count, 2 runners on. Number 15 on deck, Jaden Parker, the shortstop for the Bulldogs. Checks that second, no real hold. He'll get a good secondary inside pitch line to left field, and that is going to fall in deep over the left fielder, and 1 runs in. Tenuta crosses it, they're going to go for another, and the relay is not going to make it home. Another double, holy smokes. Tom Fiore plates both of them for the Bulldogs and absolutely ropes it down the left field line between the left fielder and the foul pole all the way down towards that 330 mark. And what a clutch hit for the Bulldogs as they have played in 7 and extend the lead now to 7 for the Bulldogs and 1 for Burrillville. I have a Barrington-Burrillville problem. I'm hoping I'm not saying it too much, but it likes to come out of my mouth. And this is Burrillville. And that's on the play. Line drive single, and this Bulldog offense is on fire. Spinato sending them and holds them back there as the relay gets home. And the runner wisely tail run to second base, and 2 more in scoring position for the Bulldogs, and nobody out. And the boys are in business, fellas, here in only the 2nd inning. Number 24, Zach Miner, a junior for the Bulldogs. And boy, oh boy, if you are Tom Fiore, nice home debut, my friend. Only 2 innings in, and you got 4 RBIs. That is pretty incredible. And you got a win in the books. I think if you're going to win in that first game, I'm not sure, but either way, you pitched a good first game. So Fiore off to a great start here in his sophomore season. And that's great news for the Bulldogs, with really that one spot on the hill that a lot of arms are probably going to fill. Pitch is away, and no sense of emergency here in the box if you're a Bulldog. You make them come to you, you get a pitch you like that you can drive, and that's what they're doing. It's 2-0, and if you're, Burrillville's got to come at them at some point. The kick, the pitch, and that stays away. So again, the Burrillville's 0-1 in the league, 1-1 overall. They have scored 12 runs, giving up 8 going into this one. But this is definitely going to shake things up in that manner. The Bulldogs have scored 9, giving up 6 going into today. They are 1-0 in the division. And that is low and in. That's going to walk, and that's going to put runners at the corners. Up steps Michael Poole for the Bulldogs. First baseman for the Bulldogs, Poole, as well as a pitcher, and we are going to have a pitching change here for Burrillville, where they're obviously the Bulldogs offense here in gear, and so is their defense, as a substitution will be made, and they will warm up another arm. And while they do that, folks, we'll go to a quick break, and we will be right back.
Ever thought about leveling up your fitness game in a fun and meaningful way? Kiefer's Martial Arts on Granite Street has everything you're looking for. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and of course, adult karate. It's not just about getting fit, it's about building your self-confidence, discipline, and that unstoppable feeling you get from all your hard work. Stop in to Kiefer's Martial Arts today to sign up.
And welcome back, everybody, as the bases are juiced here for the Bulldogs with nobody out. We are only in the bottom half of inning number 2, and they came to play all around today, this Bulldog squad, and it makes the words that were spoken to me on that Saturday morning just a couple weeks ago by a couple of the Bulldogs and Coach Spizzato and their confidence, and they wear it well. They do. They wear it with class, and the way they take the field and the way they first inning, all the real dirty work here tonight thus far here. It's only 1 inning in with no outs in the bottom of the second, but was done with 2 outs. You can't forget that all 5 of those runs came in inning number 1 with 2 outs. Now that's clutch ball, and that's what you got to do to make it through a long season. The year that they took it out in 22, they played 25 games last season. It was the most, I do believe, that the Bulldogs have, that the baseball teams ever had to play or ever played. Part of that due to scheduling, part of it also due to coaching mentality, and I love the mentality. I mean, at this point in this sport, you're better off at this sport in game situations, and you can do more there than you can do in any kind of a practice, especially with a team the caliber of the Bulldogs. So he schedules a lot of non-league games, and when he does it, he doesn't schedule just anybody. He challenges his team, generally with Connecticut schools that compete perennially for state championships just over the border. So they play as close to up as possible, if not up in their non-leaguers, further preparing them for their league game. I love the mentality of it, and we see it in other sports as well. So the Bulldogs are just on the diamond now constantly from here to the end. The Burrillville defense steps in on the infield. Everyone's going home. First pitch in for a strike. You got to cut down runs here. Nobody out. I mean, it's only a 6-run deficit, but it just doesn't look great if you're in the field. Chopped fair, and that is going to be a problem. They're going to let it roll. Will it cut over? Oh, it does. It is a foul ball, and what a tough little wiggle for the Bulldogs. The first time that happened, it was off the foot or the plate, and this time that last little trickle. Man, oh man, and there's a footprint in the chalk. Maybe if someone didn't stand on it at some point in this game, that'd have been fair. And that saves a run. 2 strikes now on the hitter, Poole. And this is going to stay. Oh, he swings in. That's going to go to the shortstop. He's not going to go home with it. Another run's going to cross. And they throw out Poole at first. It's a fielder's choice, but another run crosses the plate for the Bulldogs, number 8. Again, a little trouble at first base for the Broncos of making the transition to touching first base. That being said, there are still now 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out. 8 runs across the plate for the Bulldogs. At bat number 4, Josh Ferrando, the senior. And through for a single past the diving shortstop. 1 run in. And a throw to the plate. 2 runs in. He tails him to second. In at second. What a hit. Everything going the way of the Bulldogs. 2 more in. They hit 10. Josh Ferrando with 2 RBIs. The senior for Westerly. It is now 10-1. There is only 1 out. Folks, we are only in bottom of inning number 2. Bulldogs still with a runner now in scoring position, Ferrando, and up steps Simmons, the leader and veteran of this squad. And you know, keeping that in mind as that curveball hangs high and away, the fact that he is one of the leaders of this team, there's no better place for him to be than the catcher, because when your catcher's vocal and a leader and you can follow, you're in good shape. He's done a great job here tonight as well, as does A.J. Escalera. He really has done a pretty good job himself. There'd be more runs across the plate if it weren't for some of the scoops by Escalera of the Broncos. Bulldogs working on the 3rd Bronco pitcher here. And this curveball is going to hang high. 3-0 the count. And Ferrando at second after the clutch hit just past the diving shortstop. Good secondary, that's a strike, so the count will be 3-1. Straight up defense, really, to everybody. They've been playing pretty straight up. The left field has been beat twice, but there's nothing you can do about either of them. Both absolutely solid hits. And strike down the middle, ground ball, Hopper. Nice job of base running. And that wise base running gives Simmons first base. Just that hesitation, that little wiggle to possibly interrupt the attention of the fielding player for the Broncos, and it does just that, causes the error, and now there are runners on the corner. Simmons reaches on the E6, and up steps number 12, Andrew Bozek, the senior. He's done it before. He's done it earlier today, and is no huge surprise if he does it again. There is 1 out, runners at the corners. First pitch, strike. Checks him at first. Throws it on the money, man. That kid's going to throw a pee. Back safely is Simmons. And as I said, Simmons really is Bulldogs probably the most dangerous base runner. It's IQ before anything, in my opinion, really. And he's got a great baseball IQ and can just read his jump extremely well. And that is going to send him back to first. 2 strikes on the hitter, 1 out, bottom of the second, folks. If you forgot who we were, I am the voice, Greg Morano. We have Lisa behind the lens and Ben Barber, Dave Giannis, producers, owners. We are 3-2-1 Westerly, bring you Bulldog baseball. And up top in the gap, he goes for it. And that is going to plate another with a single to left center, and everybody's in on it. Bulldogs runners at first and second. They touch 11 in here in only 2 innings of play. And it is 1 out, bottom 2, and no real delight if you're a Bronco as you see Jack Tenuta toe his way into the plate. Up and in on the box is Tenuta. Runners at first and second, 1 out. 10-run deficit here in the second. They got to play 5 innings, folks, one way or the other. So they got to stay laser focused because, like I said, Burrillville is usually a nuisance of an opponent. Steal third, no throw. Scoring position wise, no throw by the catcher. He's a good catcher as well. We have another warning going into the dugout. I think it's about a batter swing on double deck, folks. Technically, you're only allowed 1 out of the dugout swinging, and fly ball, center field, and that is deep. He's got him beat for sure, and it stays in the park, rolls its way to the fence, scores 1. He will hit a throw to third, and he is in with a triple. Tenuta with a blast to center field, plates another. 2 runs for the Bulldogs, clears the bases, 13 on the board, and boy, if he didn't put that to center field, which is doesn't have a sign but is 375 last I knew. There used to be a sign there as well, and he was all of 365, 370 of it, and cleared the bases. Tenuta, displaying the muscle. And now at bat is number 9, Nick Tria, as he sprays one away. And this offense is this is a number booster. This is one of those stat boosters here at this point if you're a Bulldog batter. And again, Tenuta does fantastic job at the plate, but another long break between innings on the hill. Again, I am sure he'll take it. The pros go with the cons in that scenario, but nevertheless, his innings will be shortened, one would imagine, due to score and rest time. And the kick, pitch, strike. 1-2 the count. That's ready. Tenuta at third, that goes away, and evens up the count, 2-2. Only 1 man down, so a fly ball to the outfield if it makes its way far enough. As the wind picking up a little bit towards left center. And that one goes low, so that'll full count it is. Any kind of ground ball to the right side, more or less, would score a run normally. I don't know if they'll have the hold or green or what they'll do with him. Stays upstairs, runner at first. So the Bulldogs, patient at the plate, earn another walk. And in again, it seems like he was just at bat seconds ago. Well, it wasn't that long ago. Tom Fiore at bat for the Bulldogs. He got at least 4 RBIs, 2 doubles, 1 with 2 outs. Started in the game against North Providence through 4 2/3. Only allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 hits. He struck out 9. And then you see him here today in the box doing it offensively. Burrillville getting ready, and in steps Fiore. The pitch, and that's a line drive center field. It's going to fall in again, and another RBI single for Fiore, who is at least 3 for 3. If he hasn't been around one more time than I'm paying attention to, but another run in for the Bulldogs as Tenuta crosses home, and unless there's some kind of epic collapse, Tenuta's going to collect a victory here today. On the hill, but it's early. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying that at the bottom of the second, but from everything I've seen here in this home opener, if everything continues the way it is, the Bulldogs are in good shape. And that's up and away. But again, a tight arm for Tenuta is something that they definitely going to be either looking at, dealing with, or switching. 2 runners on, 1-0 count. Bulldogs with a 13-run advantage in the bottom half of the second. Up and in, almost gets hit by it, and does get hit by it. And that is going to advance the runners as he gets hit in the forearm wrist area. And that will fill him up again. Number 24 steps in, Zach Miner. Second baseman and pitcher, junior for the Bulldogs, who had what was a clutch hit already earlier in this one. You forget what was clutch and what wasn't. You got to remember the Bulldogs were losing by 1. So they have played it 14 in a row and now have them loaded with 1 out. Stays upstairs 1-0. No room for him. Got to throw strikes. On deck, Michael Poole. Defense playing regular depth. And that is a little inside. Gets the call. If you're a Bronco, that is. Evens the count up at 1-1, 1 out. Get a little bit cooler down there on the field. That pitch in. Oh, we framed that one in there. I don't like that. That was outside. 1-2 the count. But again, long innings here at the ready. The 1-2 pitch. And that is, how he caught that behind the batter's head. Was able to see it. A.J. Escalera saved certainly another run, without doubt. And another warning to the Bulldog dugout. They're having a hard time staying in the dugout. They're just bursting with excitement. And so am I. That's how we do baseball here in Westerly. And that is going to stay away. Can't give them that one. 2-2 the count. 1 out. And now the Bulldogs. Let me see how many actual games. Pitcher at the ready. And that is going to be a called ball for, I think that was closer than the one he called a strike. And that is going to walk in another run for the Bulldogs. So things getting out of hand here. Good eye by Miner. Excellent, excellent eye. And the Bulldogs, they got 20 games on their schedule. And that doesn't count postseason. So talk about a mountain, folks. It is what do they say? It's a marathon, not a sprint. And that's what it is. Certainly. And that's why games like this make it a lot easier on your pitcher's arms and easier to use more pitchers, less innings, less of your starters. And off his fist, that's going to dive. Oh, he can't make it happen. First baseman tries to dive, and everything going right for the Bulldogs. That was a heck of an effort by the first baseman. And frankly, if it didn't bounce off his glove, the second baseman would have been able to make the play because the pitcher covered. So they're getting a little bit of bad luck here as the deflection gives the Bulldogs the base and the run. It's 16 now in a row here for the Bulldogs. Their answer to the top of the first, 1 run from Burrillville. Bases loaded. New count again. Number 28, Andrew Jacobson, the senior, at bat for the Bulldogs. Right up on the plate. And they're looking to bat around here as I see Simmons on deck. And that is in there for a strike. And the infield should be corners in, double play depth, and that's what they're at. Looking for either of those, the Broncos. And the kick high and in, it stays 1-1. So this is pitcher number 3 for the Broncos. And mid-inning switch here. He entered. And on the inner portion, no ball. Way to lay off by Jacobson. Checks with the base umpire. Says he went. I don't think he likes Westerly. He's had issues with the dugout all night long too. All night. all 2 innings long, too. And that is there. I'll give him that one. And that is strike 3 due to the check. And is going to be told and walk back to the dugout. Unfortunate ending to the at-bat. Second out in the books for the Broncos. And up steps Grayson Simmons as he led off the inning. And we'll try to keep it in business here. 2 outs, bases loaded. Bulldogs have reeled in. I thought it was 16. Maybe it's 15. And stays high. I do believe it's 16. 16-1 is the score. Scoreboard out here doesn't read that. And boy, to breathe the air outside at the complex, at the field, at Algieri Field, and here at Similori. And Simmons line drive foul on the inside portion. Turns on that puppy, hits a screamer into foul territory. But yeah, being back at it, oh man, it is just fantastic. Gets his sign at the ready, 2 down, looking to get out of this thing, the Broncos. And that is going to stay upstairs over the head of Simmons. And it is 2-1 the count. In number 11. 2-1 count. Bases loaded. Stays outside. 3-1 the count. Now, Ball's going to play another one. This is a batter's count. Green light count. You put it in his wheelhouse, Simmons will make you pay. There is no doubt about that. He was doing it as a sophomore. And that is there. Gets just under it. And the right fielder trying to track. And is able to do it, and the Broncos get out relatively unscathed, but not completely, and the Bulldogs had a few. The score, Westerly 16, Burrillville 1. We have 2 innings in the books, and we will return.
Hot summers and cold winters can be unbearable, but D&V Mechanical has the solution for you. As a Mitsubishi Diamond dealer, we provide energy-efficient and personalized comfort solutions for your home. Our experienced technicians will install your new system quickly and efficiently, ensuring your complete satisfaction. Don't suffer through another season of discomfort. Contact D&V Mechanical today for a personalized ductless mini-split installation that fits your lifestyle. D&V Mechanical, your comfort is our top priority.
Welcome back to Similori Field, folks. It has been a long 2 innings, but let me tell you what, it has been worth it. The Bulldogs in their home opener, a league opener, started this thing off giving up 1 run in the top of the first inning, and boy, have they ever answered, plating 16 in the first 2 innings. Tenuta still on the hill here for the Bulldogs. Like I said, gave up that 1 run as he was settling in the first inning and seems to have settled in well. I mean, he pitched just last night, according to what I'm reading here. He threw 2 innings, and that's what you're going to get out of him this year. He is the leader. He is the captain leader, as is Simmons from the field and at the dish, both of them. But you're going to get him when his starting days and whenever necessary. Bottom line, he's a workhorse, and he's a highly talented workhorse. So, and he also, you see what he can do at the plate as he drove one deep center field. The story at the plate here for the Bulldogs has been a timely hitting, but there's also been a nice little power display as we've seen 3 balls deep to left field that beat the left fielder. We've seen a couple in the gap. Tom Fiore having a day for the Bulldogs with at least 5 of his own RBIs that I've counted on 2 doubles and a single. A couple of them with 2 outs in that first inning. Most of the damage for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the first inning was done to Burrillville with 2 outs. All of their runs in the first inning's correction were done with 2 outs. So the Bulldogs laying it on right now as Tenuta gets set to to take the rubber, and in steps number 9 for the Broncos, Cam Potter. A few new numbers in for the Bulldogs. We'll see. Well, you're going to see that it's not. They're going to have a pretty good sized rotation. As far as their entire lineup goes. They have utility players that you can trust, essentially is what I'm saying. As that one stays upstairs, still got the pepper. Trying to re-loosen the arms a little bit. I got someone banging on something downstairs. And the pitch up and away, 2-0 count. So the Bulldogs with a day off and then a non-leaguer versus rival, Chariho, which didn't go well for the Bulldogs last year, did the year before. So, you know, this is a different season than last, you can see without a doubt. Last year, a good season. It really was for the Bulldogs. So many tight games, so many games that it was just that one hit away or that one play away. And they think that this year of experience and, again, the returning workhorses that have been around for a couple of years, the combination is the right mix and has the right components to take down that crown again. At the ready. And fouled off to the left side. Count is full, so still making them throw pitches here. So the second inning, you didn't have to throw too many. Full count. Bases are empty. Nobody is out. And that one stays away. And that is going to give him, that is the third leadoff walk. I will say that. That's something that he'll look at, obviously, and want to try to address in the future. But again, you don't pitch back-to-back very often. It's just what was needed at the, obviously at this portion of the season. Runner takes his lead at first. The check, the kick. And that one's going to get by, and he'll get to second easily. Standing, so the Broncos, it is quiet in the dugout, obviously. Bozak having a day just as well for the Bulldogs. I mean, it's really contributions from all as Shade starts to come over the field. And that is right down the chute, some fire from Tenuta, which does become a little bit of an issue on some nights for the fielders. Wind is gusting out. Righty in the box. And breaking ball is going to go to the shortstop. Backhand, ball falls to the ground, and that is going to be safe at first. Probably a hit. For the Broncos. So they have runners on the corners now with nobody out. Making a little push here. And really the bigger problem, if there's any, for the Bulldogs is having to make Tenuta work harder and more pitches than they would like. And that is going to be a called strike. And you'll probably see the runner head towards second base, more than likely, at some point here, this pitch. Lefty in, catcher. Having a day behind the plate. It's a thankless position sometimes, especially when you're on this end of the scoreboard. But he's had to do work back there, man. He really has, as has Simmons, obviously, and you'll hear me give him due credit all year long. And that check swing didn't hold, certainly. And nice breaking ball by Tenuta. And ahead of the hitter, 0-2. Plenty of room for a waves pitch here for Tenuta, up and away, up and in. And, he strikes him out right on the inner portion of the plate. Cleanup hitter for the Broncos. And that shows his confidence. Fire on the inner portion. Tenuta is showing really no signs of any effect of the long layoff. Runners at the corners. One out, pitch, right. Not sure why they're not just assuring the two men in scoring position, really. And heading towards second, but they're not. Doesn't matter as much. Up on the box, and that's over the chute for a strike. 0-2 count, one out, runners at the corners. Lights come on here at Similori Field. Home league opener for the Bulldogs. Coming in 1-0 in the league and certainly looking to make it 2. The pitch, ground ball, second baseman handles it, can't flip it, little juggle, but gets it to first for the out. There will be 2 outs now, and that will plate a run for Burrillville, and that will cut the deficit by 1. Number 10, whose Bulldogs knocked off the hill in the inning, Riley Herbert Jr. steps in. Runner at second, 2 out, and the Broncos get their second run. And the pitch, strike called over the outside corner of the plate. And Tenuta still with good pep, good velocity considering. And breaking ball, that's a nice one, that's devastating. Slider, breaking ball more or less towards the outer portion and away, and the count is 0-2 with 2 outs. So looking to head back to the offensive spectrum here. Bulldogs 1 pitch away, possibly. Not a real concern for that runner. And that's a strike over the middle of the plate. Blows it by him and ends the inning with a strikeout. Through 2.5, the Bulldogs head to the plate with a 14-run advantage. We are 3-2-1 Wesley. We're going to take a quick break and be back.
The Thirsty Beaver Hometown Pub and Grub in Dunn's Corners is your ultimate destination for refreshing drinks, delectable dishes, and memorable moments with family and friends. Enjoy live music, DJ trivia every Wednesday night, and we're now the official spot to come watch and root for your favorite Westerly High School sports teams. The Thirsty Beaver, located at 265 Post Road, Spindrift Village, Westerly.
Welcome back, everybody. I am the voice, Greg Moran. We are 3-2-1 Wesley, and we are getting to the bottom of the third inning here at Similori Field. Bulldogs hold a big advantage, 16-2. Believe it or not, they did trail 1-0 in this one, and it has swung, ever has it swung. But in between innings, looking through some paperwork here and just looking at the numbers of the players that were on that 22 team. I mean, I'm talking a lot about the catcher, Grayson Simmons. And I'm looking for his, I had a 343 average as a sophomore. Average as a sophomore. Drew Bozak, 277 average as a sophomore. Those are some pretty impressive tallies, and 2 more years of experience, and you have what we have in front of us. I mean, we have a long road to go, but boy, do we ever have tools to hopefully fix any problems along the way. Like I said, folks, to be a complete ball game, it's got to go 5. Being a home game for the Bulldogs, that means that the Broncos have to have 5 times. Then there is a mercy rule. It is 10 or 12, I think 10. Long way to go to get there, as the Broncos put in pitcher number 4 of the day. And we have a lefty on the hill, I do believe, is Frankie Staples, left-handed pitcher outfielder for the Broncos. excuse me, no, Grayson Simmons is Simmons' brother from yes, I'm getting that confused. Excuse me, folks. Grayson Simmons is only a sophomore. And that is fouled off. Up at bat, number 12 for the Bulldogs, Andrew Bozak, center fielder, also listed as a catcher. Yeah, I had brothers confused. So we have brothers and all the way through the state championship bloodlines. On the 92 team, Aaron Simmons, Shep Simmons, Grayson Simmons. And ground ball, that's going to get through. And that is a single off the bat of Andrew Bozak. Legs it out, Bulldogs in business. Nobody out here, bottom of the third. Up steps the pitcher, Jack Tenuta. Absolutely drove one to deep center field. And his last at bat beat the center fielder. A ball that deep will be any center fielder. You can't play it better at 360. So runner at first, lefty here. And that is low and in, swing and a miss. But I do know that too. He did bat 397 in 97 plate appearances and 85 official at bats in his sophomore season. That's incredible. He has just gotten better and better. Low and in, 1-1. Yeah, that is up. He got a little bit under it. Left center fielder goes. Trackable. Center fielder eyeing it in and reels it in for out number one as the runner retreats. So just under it, Tenuta. Well, at this point, he's a pitcher. Lock up the game lock up the win as the pitcher, and you've done your thing. Bulldogs defense has played well here tonight. It's also a lot less pressure when your offense drops 16 on the defense. But this is like I said, this is a team full of seasoned vets, even if they're only juniors and weren't on that team. And line drive up the middle, that's going to fall in for a hit. 2 men on, and number 9 for the Bulldogs with the single, Nick Tria, senior first baseman. So, full-time action last year. That's what we mean. There's few or no new bodies, new faces to varsity level. There's a couple I have in the review. And in Coach Sposado's system, I guarantee that they're a part of it and that they contribute. Everybody's got their own way. And that is stays outside but gets the call. Nice job of pulling it in there by the catcher. Checks the runners. To home, swing and a miss. Number 6 at the plate for the Bulldogs, John Gingerella. 0-2 count, 1 out. And swing and a miss, tipped it straight back to the catcher, and that'll be out number 2. So the Bulldogs with 2 runners on. I do believe number 15, Jaden Parker, the shortstop, will step in. Having a nice day, Parker is at short. Couple sliding plays, couple nice throws. And inside pitch, swing fouled off. So the different look of the lefty, having a little bit of a slight effect at the moment. And that one sort of 3/4 armed it, 1-1. Runners at first and second. Yes, that's still a 3 on the inning board, folks. We're in the bottom of the third. Lights are on. Bulldogs have played offense a lot here tonight. And it is great to see. It is exciting stuff, folks. When you see this, that just means when you're down to those 3-2 games, 2-1 games, you know that any number that steps up there in a Bulldog jersey has the capabilities of coming through for you. Yeah, that one's fouled straight back, just over the short fence, I think, where we just decided to put our cameras. And Parker in, 2-2 count. 2 runners on, 2 men out, and swing and a miss, and the lefty does his job, and the Broncos will get their turn at bat here in the 4th inning. The score remains 16 for the Bulldogs, 2 for the Broncos. We will return.
Are you looking for a fresh cut in Westerly? Step into Rio's Barber Shop in Granite Plaza. Whether it's a classic trim or a trendy new look, we've got you covered. Experience the perfect cut for every age and style in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. At Rio's, it's not just a haircut, it's an experience. Visit Rio's Barber Shop in the Granite Plaza in Westerly or give us a call to schedule your appointment at 401-315-2208. Your style, our craft, Rio's Barber Shop.
And we are back, and we see a new face on the pitcher's mound as Jack Tenuta steps out after 3 complete innings, gives up 1 earned run, and leaves with a win possibility in the books as long as the Bulldogs don't give up 14 more. And on the hill for the Bulldogs, number 25, James Hooper. Right-handed pitcher, second baseman, sophomore. And this is it's a golden opportunity for the Bulldogs to get players in different scenarios, in different positions, in real varsity games. And you can more than definitely do that when you have a cushion of this magnitude. Again, complete game takes 5 innings, and I love to see how you got a young guy in there and throwing some nice pitches, command over his pitches as well, as I love to watch. I love to watch warm-ups, I love to watch the opponents for the games, and the offense comes in, throws it down, and Simmons with the P, as I had that name wrong the whole time. But that is kind of crazy with the lineage, the bloodline, and the Simmons family from the 92 championship. Obviously, everyone knows Aaron went on to play for Brown University and pitch, and then the 22 team, and now Grayson. And in steps number 23, Nate Noes. And the pitch, line drive, jumps over a high fastball. Line drive single to left. So Hoover quickly a run on against him here. And up to bat for the Broncos is the current pitcher, I do believe. Number 34, Dean Perillo. And that is a nice off-speed pitch on the inside portion of the plate. Hooper ahead, 0-1. Top of the 4th inning. And that one's a swing and a miss off-speed. That's a great control of an off-speed pitch. A mile ahead of it is the batter, and quickly up 0-2. And right out of fouls it. Movement on that fastball, that makes it tricky to hit. A lot of tail on that pitch. And throws it upstairs, good eye by the batter. And that is going to be down the right field line foul. Fortunately, foul, a lot of space. Even that, he was so far ahead of it, he didn't get a full body hip turn into the swing. I have seen and I have also fallen victim to somebody that may not have heavy velocity, but control over movement is, it can be difficult. So the 2-2 pitch from Hooper, and that is low and in. Nice scoop by Simmons. Doing a nice job behind the plate here. Swing and a miss. Strikes him out on the outside portion. Batter cannot slow it down. Way ahead. And boy, oh boy, first pitch gives up a single. Hooper did, and clearly didn't get shook from it. Strikes out the next batter. We got one down. Number 8 steps in the box. Daniel Delmonico for the Broncos. And the pitch upstairs, run around first. One out. And way ahead again. One and one count, one out. And that is a swing and a drive to left field. Can he come in on a laser beam? Oh, misjudges it, didn't get behind him. And that is going to be more than likely one run in. And he's going to hold him at third. Yeah, great throw for a relay. Essentially enough. But boy, he put a little pop into it and a little bit of a tail. Left fielder couldn't quite grab it. Trickles, rolls all the way to the fence, and in business, in a way, are the Broncos. 2 men in scoring position. In steps number 2, Jordan Furtado. And just a little misstep, maybe a miscue. And that's a ground ball up the middle, and just by the reaching shortstop. I thought Parker had it, and it gets by timely hit, 1 run in. So that'll be the 3rd run for the Broncos. Number 9 in Cam Potter. Runners at the corners and still just 1 out. Middle playing double play depth. Corners at normal depth. And swing and a miss. That is a nice pitch. Hooper at the ready. Quick pitch. Likes to throw quick. And if you're not a wise batter, you can't step out and try to break his rhythm a little bit. A rhythm pitcher can always be dangerous. And he's at the ready again. 0-2. And roll the plate, ground ball, second base. Quick flip should do it. 1, and the throw's not there. Speed off the bat, but the Bulldogs grab 1, and the Broncos tack on another. 16-4 the score. 2 outs, runner at first here in the top of the 4th. And now the Bulldogs getting close to an area where the game would get extended. I don't know if it's 10 or 12, but I do know if you're a Bulldog, you want to keep it around that area. With the work you've done, nice pitch by Hooper. That pitch ducked in on the batter. It had like a screwball motion to it. A little circle change, I don't know. Either way, he's up 0-2 now. And that stays upstairs. 1-2 the count. Two outs, 1-2 on the batter. And that one's going to stay upstairs, 2-2. He'll even it up. The 2-2 pitch from Hooper. Stays upstairs, went for it anyway. That's fair. Oh, he called it foul. Was that foul? Oh, boy. Whew. Bulldogs are fortunate there. And they do have a coach very, very close to that base. So one would assume if it was the wrong call that he'd be upset. So I'm going to go to the umpire and say it was just foul. And that one stays away and fills up the count here. 3-2. Little chatter from the dugouts. It's been a quiet night with the separation here. Runners off, pops it up. Third baseman trying to track it, but that's a lot of ground to cover. It's going to get past that pole, which is the out-of-play mark, where you see that that pitcher's cage all the way to that telephone pole, right down through past that batting cage in left field. That is all dead zone. It's a square rectangle that's non-playable. The pitch over the plate towards right field and out of play, fouled off. So the runner's taken off clearly on the 3-2 pitch. 2 outs is generally the given procedure in the game of baseball. And he heads off, and ground ball, waves at it to short. Parker scoops it up, makes the throw. Bing, bang, boom, 6-3, inning over. And the Bulldogs will head to the plate in the bottom of the fourth with a 16-4 lead. We're going to take a quick one, folks, and we'll be back.
Bring the kids, bring grandma and grandpa, heck, bring everyone and come to the Mesquamaket Spring Fest in Westerly, May 10th, 11th, and 12th at Mesquamaket State Beach. You'll find an array of great food trucks, arts and craft vendors, games, rides, and a Ferris wheel with panoramic views. Friday night is John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band kicking off a weekend of great music on the main stage. It's time for summer at Mesquamaket Beach with Springfest, Mesquamaket.org.
We'll more than likely be here for it. I do believe. So the Bulldogs went 1-0 versus North Providence, who is in their pod C, and by a 9-6 score in the first game of the season. Tenuta pitched, starting pitcher Tom Fiore, who's having a great night here tonight. Got at least 5 RBIs, 2 doubles and a single. He was on the hill for Wesley for 4 2/3. Gave up 3 runs, 2 hits, struck out 9. Tenuta tacked on 2 innings, and Hooper iced the game 1, and he's icing this one right here tonight. So we see why he's there. They're trying to get him into a little bit of a role as a closer. And the Bulldogs, umpires moving players again. In for the Bulldogs is Zach Miner, who's been playing here. He is now a junior. Follows it back. We're in the bottom of inning number 4. An inning the Bulldogs need to complete if they want to shorten things. And it's up and in. And as the weather changes, folks, and the season goes on, and hopefully the Bulldogs wins increase, you'll hear the volume here at similar increase. Obviously, the crowd, the interest, the whispers start getting through town. That's the way it worked last time. That's the way it works in all of our sports. And after a hugely successful first week, and he was called late on the inside portion, and just walked back with class, and that's a tough call to take. 1 quick out on the board for the Broncos, and again, you'd hear more. I don't want to say anger, but you'd hear more fight in my voice if the scenario was different. That was a tough call. So Bulldogs getting ready here. It looks like a new hitter getting set to bat. I wasn't planning on it. And number 19 in the game for the Bulldogs. And number 19 on my roster for the Bulldogs. Let's see if I can figure it out, though. Oh, and 1 and count. Lefty-lefty matchup. Swing and a miss. delivery, and that stays blown away. I was a lefty. I always loved the lefty-lefty matchup. Maybe Joe Gabriel. And if it is Joe Gabriel, you just got a single well hit in the right field, and the Bulldogs are in business. I don't have a number 19, but I have a senior that I haven't seen out there yet, so I'm going to think it's at bat number 3 for the Bulldogs, Jack Zerberini, only a freshman in year here at the varsity level, and that's how you keep this machine rolling like Coach Pizzato's done, giving experience to players in different positions, different pressure positions as well. Bulldogs with a commanding lead here. Runner on first, bottom 4, 1 out, 1 ball, no strikes. Gonna not get the call there, too far away. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that is to Parker at short. Actually, that's a flip. And they don't handle the flip. And that is in second for the Bulldogs. They'll be in safety on the air. Parker plays for us and not them. Bulldogs 2 runners on. And when a score kind of gets out of hand a little bit like this, you see a little more mishaps like that. New one in the box for the Bulldogs. Let me get a number for you. Number 20 with a big swing. And I need a new roster for the next game. 2 on, 1 out. Stays away. One and 1 count, 1 out, 16-4 to score. Hey, Grumble, base hit single. So 2 new faces, and we are going to round third. Let them try here at home. The throw's not on, and you got to add that run because you want to end the game. So that's a matter of numbers and just common sense and knowledge as a coach. You want to end the game early. Now it's been a long, long night. So the Bulldogs add an insurance run, make it 17-4. And if they can get 3 outs in the bottom half without any blemishes, they should be able to put a close to the contest. Parker last year, the one I did mention, and the strike call was used at night. Number 7 at bat, Tim Fagan for the Bulldogs. I mentioned Parker earlier, and he had a great year at bat last year. I mean, holy cow. He played in 20 games and batted .400. So that is extremely expensive. Jaden Parker, the shortstop, number 15, I'm just getting to know. We weren't able to cover a lot of baseball last year for one reason or another. But I will know you fellas by the next game, that's for certain. And that is towards the outside, fouled away, 2 strikes. 2 runners on, 1 out, 0-2 count. Tim Fagan at the plate for the Bulldogs. 2-2 the count. And the lefty has done a pretty good job stepping in. 4th pitcher for Burrillville, sprays the line. Fair ball! It's going to scoot foul. You can run for days here, folks. That is a triple if you needed it, but they don't. And they're going to stop the runner after 1 more run goes through for insurance towards the early ending. And then the classy coaching as they stop the final 2 from coming in. And that's some great hitting we're seeing from some new faces here late in the game. Early in the season for me. So this is all new for me, and I love it. Hooper at bat here, I love it. You got a little closer here for the Bulldogs. They're grooming him, obviously, and he's doing a heck of a job. So the Bulldogs still in business. 1 down, 2 in scoring position. The pitcher, sophomore, James Hooper. So Tenuta set for, he'll get the win here. More than likely, one would think. And that'll be his first of the season, first decision. As Fiore got the win in their first game. And boy, did he contribute in this one. That young man can hit. Oh, yeah, report 3 minutes. 2-1 the count here. I see some technical difficulties. I wonder if you can hear me. I'm going to pretend you can. 2-2 the count here. And the lefty's pitch. Outside portion, framed in for strike 3. They've been calling out on batters all day. Really hasn't been there, but it's been all day. So for me, if you're going to do it, you're going to make the calls, make them consistently. I don't complain too much. Number 9, and Nick Tria in the box here for the Bulldogs. And Tria batted .250 last year, 82 appearances, and he ropes this one deep. Here on Thursday. In steps, the shortstop, Jaden Barker, I think. Yes, sir, and a little off-speed pitch catches him. And the count is 0-1. Sprays it foul and out of play. And the count's 0-2 now. 2 outs, 2 runners on, 2 runs in, 24 the score. Bulldogs essentially 3 defensive outs away from ending this one early. The Bulldogs, bottom of the 4th inning. 2 outs, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and a 20-4 lead. Really have turned it up offensively here. Right after the Broncos had tacked on a couple, back in business the Bulldogs went, and really this is the 4th Broncos pitcher they've seen. They've batted around their way. They've also gotten in a few extra at-bats to some extra players. The Bulldogs have used the opportunity, and that corner has bitten the Bulldogs several times now. You've heard me bring it up, and you can't watch it all day. That being said, we got 4 innings in the books, folks, and the Bulldogs are effectively 3 outs away from a mercy rule victory. They can't give up any more than 3 runs, however, or we play on. Bulldogs weapons today, and kudos to Jake Tenuta, because man, he pitched last night. He is the beast. He's the leader, and he was here as a sophomore, part of the other team, and he was their number 2. on the other team. So he was more than just a part. He was a starting pitcher on that team. And he comes in tonight, gives up 1 inning the next day. And that's highly impressive. And it was in the first. So it really could have caused a little bit of concern, because if he lost focus, if things just weren't going right, we could have a completely different game on our hands. That's not the case. Things even right out for him. And the Bulldogs, another pitcher they're going to throw in there as Hooper does his job. They got number 19 on the mound here. And really, I'm going to have to head down to the dugout after the game, because our IIL has no numbers. And my only other source has no 19 either. So the Bulldogs looking to go to 2-0 in the division. Early, well, not really early. We've probably played about a game's worth of time here. I don't really know real time, but I know some of the innings have been elongated by the Bulldogs' offensive capabilities. And the throw to second on a P, man. Simmons with a fires it as a sophomore. And baseball is in the blood of the Simmons family without question. Number 26 steps up for the Broncos, the catcher Logan Gomez, a catcher, because the starting catcher AJ Escalera had a glaringly good game today. He really did, but you can only do so much. And a nice pitch, nice tailwind off two-seam fastball over the outer portion of the plate, 0-1. And fists it away, out of play, 0-2 the count. Quickly ahead. I am just super excited. Speaking to Coach Pizzato several times prior to the season, he got me super excited. He really did. Got the blood flowing, and that's just what he does with his players. And he also gives his players their own level of responsibility, really, and just the way he approaches it. I think it's just excellent for his players and student athletes for both ends of it, for the way they carry themselves and the way they play on the field. Quickly to the mound, Simmons. Have a little brief chat. And hopefully the weather continues to stay a little dry now. March and early April showers have hopefully passed, because we got a lot of sports ahead. I looked at next week, boy. Steps in and strikes out his first batter. Let me see. He's a lefty, so I can narrow it down. And that one is going to be a popped up to first base. Got it. 2 down just like that. 1 out away, folks, for league win number 2 for this Bulldog squad. Can't open it any better. And they were down 1-0, folks, in this thing. They were down 1-0 until they batted in the bottom of the first. And then things swung drastically. The Bulldogs have gotten a lot of players in and out of the game. I mean, a couple little miscues maybe, but really had everything flowing here for game 1 at home. 20-game docket for this Bulldogs team, and that's regular season. Then the playoffs, we all know, once you get in, those are series. And, once you get along. And a lot of baseball. Super, super exciting time for me, who loves baseball. At the ready. And called strike on the breaking pitch, late break. And that one is going to stay low and away. 2-2 the count. 2-2-2. This pitch could wrap it up. Swing, foul back, staying alive. Just over my head. And if you're just joining us, folks, well, you're late. and the Bulldogs scored a lot early. So this pitch right here is a line drive, and that's going to drop in, and the Broncos play on. Bulldogs looking for an out to call it a day, and after 2 days in a row, 2 games, 2 nights in a row, never an easy task. I mean, regardless of anything, your opponent or anything, 2 days in a row is tough, especially for a pitcher. And from what I read, Jack Tenuta pitched last night. So back-to-back days, and he gets a win tonight. They'll get 1 day off, then they play rival Charahoe on the road. They get 1 day off, then they're back here. Whoa, and 1 pitch, and that's going to drop and get past Simmons. Runner will get second. 1-1 the count here. And number 23 in for the Broncos, the 1-1. Nice breaking ball, broke in a little too much. Dean Perillo at bat for the Broncos, first baseman here today. And fly, right fielder tracking it. Looks like he's got a beat on it, and this one is in the books, folks, as the Bulldogs bring all their weapons for a league victory. The final, Westerly 20, the Broncos 4. The Bulldogs move to 2-0 overall, 2-0 in the league, and will face Charahoe on Wednesday on the road. I'm the voice, Greg Morano, signing off from this one. I'll see you on Wednesday.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Ever thought about leveling up your fitness game in a fun and meaningful way? Kiefer's Martial Arts on Granite Street has everything you're looking for. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and of course, adult karate. It's not just about getting fit, it's about building your self-confidence, discipline, and that unstoppable feeling you get from all your hard work. Stop into Kiefer's Martial Arts today to sign up.
Are you looking for a fresh cut in Westerly? Step into Rio's Barber Shop in Granite Plaza. Whether it's a classic trim or a trendy new look, we've got you covered. Experience the perfect cut for every age and style in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. At Rio's, it's not just a haircut, it's an experience. Visit Rio's Barber Shop in the Granite Plaza in Westerly or give us a call to schedule your appointment at 401-315-2208. Your style, our craft, Rio's Barber Shop.
Hot summers and cold winters can be unbearable, but D&V Mechanical has the solution for you. As a Mitsubishi Diamond dealer, we provide energy-efficient and personalized comfort solutions for your home. Our experienced technicians will install your new system quickly and efficiently, ensuring your complete satisfaction. Don't suffer through another season of discomfort. Contact D&V Mechanical today for a personalized ductless mini-split installation that fits your lifestyle. D&V Mechanical, your comfort is our top priority. The Thirsty Beaver Hometown Pub and Grub in Dunn's Corners is your ultimate destination for refreshing drinks, delectable dishes, and memorable moments with family and friends. Enjoy live music, DJ trivia every Wednesday night, And we're now the official spot to come watch and root for your favorite Westerly High School sports teams. The Thirsty Beaver, located at 265 Post Road, Spindrift Village, Westerly.
What's going on, Westerly? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners, Verizon authorized retailer. And right now is the best time to come on in and get a brand new phone. We are offering our hottest new 5G phones, the iPhone 15, the S24 Pixel 8 for free with a trade-in. And the best part is 5G is finally coming down here to Westerly and the surrounding areas. So make sure you're on the best network and get it for free when you're on the right plan. Come see us at 224 Post Road.
Bring the kids, bring grandma and grandpa, heck, bring everyone and come to the Mesquamaket Spring Fest in Westerly, May 10th, 11th, and 12th at Mesquamaket State Beach. You'll find an array of great food trucks, arts and craft vendors, games, rides, and a Ferris wheel with panoramic views. Friday night is John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band kicking off a weekend of great music on the main stage. It's time for summer at Mesquamaket Beach with Springfest, Mesquamaket.org.